It's one of those episodes that will leave fans silent, the kind that reminds everyone why Coronation Street has held its place as one of Britain's most powerful dramas for over 6 decades. Tonight, viewers are thrown straight into an emotional storm that hits harder than anyone expected. Asha Alahan, once the bright, driven paramedic who seemed to have her life under control, finally reaches a breaking point, and what happens next changes everything for the Alahan family. The scene opens with an eerie calm at Victoria Gardens, but that peace is quickly shattered. Asha is found lying unconscious, her phone beside her, the sound of distant traffic barely masking the panic that follows. It's one of those moments that instantly grips you when you realize that something terrible has happened, and there's no turning back. For Asha, it's the devastating result of months spent battling an invisible weight she could no longer carry. Behind the scenes of her usual smile, Asha has been living through a storm. She's been dealing with unimaginable pressure, from the relentless demands of her job as a paramedic to the pain of recent losses that never really healed. Each day, the expectations piled higher, and the emotional wounds dug deeper. But what finally pushed her over the edge was an encounter that no one saw coming, a racist attack that left her shaken to her core. It wasn't just an insult or a single cruel remark. It was a moment that made her feel small, powerless, and unseen. And instead of finding comfort or understanding, she buried it. Like so many who wear a brave face, she carried on, pretending everything was fine. But the cracks were there, and tonight, they split wide open. As Asha is rushed to the hospital, sirens wailing through the night, the tension is unbearable. Dev, her father, watches helplessly as doctors and nurses race to save her life. For years, he's been the loud, proud, loving father, sometimes overbearing, sometimes flawed, but always there. Now, faced with the sight of his daughter unconscious, that confident exterior collapses. In that moment, he's not Dev the shopkeeper, not Dev the joker, he's just a terrified dad praying he hasn't lost his little girl. Hours later, after a frantic rush and desperate attempts by the medical team, Asha finally opens her eyes. The relief is overwhelming. You can feel it that split second when Dev realizes she's still alive. But what comes next isn't a happy ending. It's the beginning of a heartbreaking confession. Through trembling words and tearful pauses, Asha admits what she's been hiding for months. She's been battling depression. She's been living with anxiety that's eaten away at her sense of peace. And she felt trapped in her own thoughts, like there was no escape, no one who could truly understand. In one of the most gut-wrenching lines of the night, she tells Dev that she mixed booze and pills because she just wanted everything to stop. It's raw, it's painful, but it's also real, because Coronation Street isn't afraid to show the darkness that exists behind closed doors. Dev listens, broken. You can see the guilt flash across his face, the realization that, for all his love and pride, he never truly saw how much his daughter was suffering. He's grateful she survived, but deep down, he knows that the road ahead won't be easy. Asha's words echo in his mind: I didn't want to die. I just didn't want to feel like this anymore. And then comes the twist that catches everyone off guard. When her twin brother Aadi calls from India, full of excitement about his new life, Asha doesn't want him to know a thing. She insists that Dev keeps everything secret. He's having the best time over there, she says with a shaky smile. He doesn't need to worry about me. And anyway, he'd only annoy me if he came back. It's such a small line, yet it says everything. Beneath her attempt at humor is a sister protecting her brother the only way she knows how, by pretending she's okay. She forces a smile, hides her pain, and makes Dev promise not to tell him. And in that quiet moment between father and daughter, you feel the full weight of her struggle. For longtime Coronation Street fans, this hits especially hard because the Alahan twins have always been inseparable. They've faced awkward teenage years, heartbreaks, and identity struggles, but through it all, they've had each other. Now, for the first time, there's a wall between them, built on secrets and silent suffering. Meanwhile, off-screen, fans know why Aadi's absence feels so permanent. Adam Hussain, who's played Aadi since 2020, announced earlier this year that he was stepping away from the show. After 5 years on the cobbles, he decided it was time to take on new challenges. In his own words, I've loved playing Aadi. I've made amazing friends on set, and I'll miss Corrie so much. But I'm turning 25 soon, and I just feel ready to spread my wings and see what else I can do. His departure was handled beautifully, with Aadi's character heading off to India for a fresh start and a new job. But now, with Asha's emotional storyline unfolding, fans can't help but wonder, could this be the setup for a dramatic reunion down the line? After all, Coronation Street has a way of bringing its characters back when emotions run high, and this might be one of those moments that demands it. Imagine if Aadi returning home, discovering what his sister went through, and realizing she suffered in silence to protect him. That confrontation could be one of the most powerful storylines the show has done in years. But for now, Asha's secret remains safe, at least for the moment. The coming weeks promise to focus on her recovery, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Viewers can expect to see how her loved ones rally around her, how Dev tries to balance balance his guilt with support, and how Asha begins to rebuild her sense of self after nearly losing everything. And that's what Coronation Street does best. It takes pain, heartbreak, and tragedy and turns them into human stories that connect with millions. Asha's journey isn't just about one character's struggle, it's a reflection of something real, something that happens every day behind closed doors. As the credits roll tonight, fans are left with one haunting question: how long can Dev keep this secret? Because secrets like these never stay hidden forever. And when Aadi eventually finds out what really happened, it could change everything, not just for the twins, but for the entire Alahan family. For now, one thing's certain: tonight's episode isn't just another Coronation Street storyline. It's a reminder of how fragile people can be and how powerful hope and survival truly are. Asha's story is heartbreaking, but it's also inspiring. It's about finding light in the darkest moment and choosing to live again when everything feels lost. And that's what will keep fans watching, not just for the drama, but for the humanity at the heart of it all. Because in Weatherfield, every heartbreak leads to a comeback, and every ending is just the beginning of something even more unforgettable.